Hi, I'm going to show you how to make a piece of music using the Thumbjam app. Specifically, we're going to do this by layering up lots of loops, which is one of my favourite features of the app. I'm going to show you how to build up to a whole piece of music over a few different videos, but for this first one, we're just going to talk about the setup. So here's Thumbjam. If I click on it, come into the app. And the first thing we're going to do is download all of the sample sounds so that you've got lots of different instruments to choose from. So you're going to click sound in the top left. You're going to go on to download samples. And here's the big long list of instrument sounds. And I've got most of them downloaded, but I can click on this top one. And that will take a few minutes to download, but I'm going to press done and it should just do it in the background. Now what we're going to do is show you how to change the instruments. So again, go back into sound and you press change instrument, and here's your big long list of all the things that I've downloaded there. Next thing we want to do is pick a key and a scale. Yeah. So first of all, I'm going to choose my key and I'm on G and I want to make it G minor. So I'm going to press sound, change scale. You can see I've already got minor on there. It doesn't matter which one you use. I like the minor scales, I like the major pentatonic scales. It really depends on what mood of your piece you want. And then you press done to come out of that. Now what we're going to do is look at the loop settings. Loop is in the top right here. First thing I want to do is decide on a tempo, and that is your speed, and that is this big number here, 130 beats per minute. That's what I want it to be on. It's really important that as you're layering your loops, you don't change the speed until everything is finished. What I find is that if I suddenly change the speed and then try and add another loop, it doesn't really like it very much. So my advice is just to keep it on the same speed throughout. Next, we're going to look at loop options. So what we want is to have Quantize start on, and it says here, waits for the first start of the loop before starting record of additional loops. What that means is that you don't have to kind of guess when you're gonna, when your next loop is gonna start recording. It will kind of count you in. You'll see how many beats there will be until it starts recording, and it should all start recording at the same time. It just keeps everything nice and tidy. Now the next one is how many beats we have in a bar. I mean, you can have as many beats as you want in the bar. 3 or 4 is more standard. At the bottom here is how long our loop is going to be. I've gone for 8 bars. You could do it for maybe 4 bars. You could do 16 bars. Try and think of this as the length of your musical phrase. So a 4, 8, 16, they're more rounded numbers than say something like 7 or 5 or 9. Then you're going to press done. And what we want to talk about now is in this little loop section here, we'll talk about delete and clear loops. They're right next to each other, so don't get them confused. So if you've done a loop and it hasn't quite gone right, you can quickly press delete last, and that will get rid of the last one that you've done. If you press clear loops, that will get rid of all the work that you've done, which I may have frustratingly done once or twice, which leads me on to saving. Now, as you played in all of your loops, you can press save here. And what I'll do is just show you an example. So if I just record something in now. That's my first loop. That was just a little something. If I want to save that, press save. I would recommend doing save, set and mix down, because that way it's going to save all those settings that you've done, so that next time when you come back, you know, they should all be the same. And this is where you can name your piece. So I'm just going to put test, save. Now if you want to come back to it, go into loop, go into load, and you should see it in the bottom here. So if I press test, replace all, You can add it to something else you've been working on as well. And there we go, that's it done. Good, okay, and that's the setup.